Hello everyone. My name is Laura and today I want to share with you an experience I had a few years ago in an abandoned recycling plant on the outskirts of the city. It was a gloomy place, surrounded by twisted trees that swayed in the night wind as if they were whispering dark secrets. The plant had closed years ago, leaving behind a maze of dark corridors and rusty machinery. I remember that night I decided to venture alone through that place, inspired by the curiosity and adrenaline that only fear can awaken in one. The moon barely filtered through the clouds, casting ghostly shadows on the rubble-strewn ground. Each footstep echoed like an ominous echo in the empty hallways, making my heart pound in my chest. As I made my way, I came across abandoned objects that seemed to whisper forgotten stories. Old machines with rusty gears that creaked as if they were still working, piles of twisted metal that looked like distorted shapes in the gloom. The air grew denser with each step, as if something invisible was watching me from the shadows. It was then that I heard a sound, barely perceptible at first, like a distant murmur. I stopped, fear paralyzing my muscles as my mind tried to decipher where that sound was coming from. It was like a constant whisper that rose and fell in an eerie rhythm, as if someone were speaking quietly in an unfamiliar language. I moved cautiously toward the source of the sound, feeling how the temperature seemed to drop around me, as if the cold was getting into my bones. I found myself in front of a half-open door that led to a dark room. The murmur intensified, becoming a frantic whisper that echoed in my head. With trembling hands, I pushed open the door and walked in. What I saw made my blood run cold. In the center of the room, surrounded by piles of scrap metal and flashes of moonlight filtering through the broken windows, was a figure hunched over itself. It was a broken doll, loose threads hanging from its limbs, but most disturbing were its empty eyes that seemed to follow me wherever I looked. The murmur stopped suddenly. An oppressive silence filled the room as the cold intensified. I slowly backed away, feeling every shadow around me come to life, stalking me. I ran for the exit, leaving behind my wrist and the haunting murmur that still echoed in my ears. Since then, I haven't been back to that place. But sometimes, on the darkest nights, I can still hear the whispering murmur in my dreams, reminding me that there are things in this world that should not be disturbed. Thank you for listening to my story. Remember, the darkest demons are in the most unexpected corner of our minds. Until next time. Goodbye. Hello everyone. My name is Laura and today I want to share with you an experience I had a few years ago in an abandoned recycling plant on the outskirts of the city. It was a gloomy place, surrounded by twisted trees that swayed in the night wind as if they